Yo, it's about that time of year, baby. Haha. You know? Get a loved one. You know? Hit up your favorite restaurant. I've been watching you for so very long. Trying to get my nerve built up to be so strong. Whoa. I really want to meet you, but I'm kind of scared. 'Cause you're the kind of lady with so much class. I get my thoughts together for the very next day. But when I see you, lady, I forget what your eyes and hair. Such a beautiful song. The way you dress and walk, it really turns me on, yeah. Ooh, you really turn me on. Come on, come on, come on. Oh my gosh. Dude, bro. Man, was there any better band, R&B band in the world than Jodeci? Jodeci, bro. When I was in middle school, Jodeci was love. Like, next week is my favorite holiday of the year, Valentine's Day. It's when people appreciate and show their love for one another. And Macaroni Grill. That, to me, is romantic. That is the realest thing ever. But when I was in middle school, bro, let me show you a chart right here. This is actually facts. And I've done research. I know some of you are like, he doesn't even do research. Okay, look. The baby boomers came back from the war, right? And if this was the chart, the amount of children being conceived, okay? Hold up, I got to get you guys in there. Was like, I mean, the baby boomers came back. They were ready. They were full ready to go. So they did their thing, right? Okay, so it's going here. There's a lot of kids being made, right? All around the world, especially in the U.S. Bruh. In middle school? In the 90s? When Jodeci dropped? Come and Talk to Me? And Forever My Lady, the album? Birth rates went through the roof. Do you see this chart? Do you see the growth, bro? This band hypnotized people. They were making love. They were just, oh my gosh. Dude, love had never been stronger. Love had never been stronger than when Jodeci came out with Forever My Lady. Some of my most fondest memories are in middle school and even like early high school. You know, I always try to be cool. I've always like appreciated every type of music, man. And one of them was, you know, I was fortunate enough to be in the 90s when hip-hop came around. I've mentioned that and talked about in that podcast, and I will continue to talk about because I'm very fortunate and very proud of that. But, man, we'd have these singing groups in the like cafeteria and stuff. Like there would be a group of dudes, just the hippest dudes, always the hippest dudes in the school, bro. And they'd be in the corner, they'd be singing Jodeci. They'd be a cappella in it. I remember one time there was like 30, 40, 50 maybe people in the commons area. And like one guy was like, you know, singing some like Jodeci or some Sha. Part 2. The remix. Ooh. They'd be like this. They'd be like, ooh. And there'd be 4 of them. And the other one like would look at the other one and say, am I going? That's the best part of it. Like they were in sync, but yet they're still trying to figure out who's going to sing what. And then one guy would step up and say, the very first time that I saw your brown eyes, your lips said hello and I said hi. That's when I knew you were the one. 'cause I was caught up in physical attraction. But to my satisfaction, baby, you were more than just a fake. And if I ever fall in love again, I will be sure that the lady is a friend. And if I ever fall so blue, so true, you, yeah, dude, man, and then they look up and everybody would just be like, God, these guys are amazing. And it would be much incredible. Like, I couldn't get in that ring because I couldn't sing like that. But man, I would go home in the mirror and I would envision being in middle school and singing like that and being like, everybody be like, God, man, he could sing, he could perform. He was on the lunch table. He was the very first time. And then I passed the mic off to Cece. And then, it was like Casey and JoJo, or it's Casey and JoJo, and we, and in my mind I had this world, this fake world that wasn't even real, but it was the coolest thing. But Jodeci, bro, was, you could see the growth. Middle school pregnancy, bro, at its highest in the history of the world. 90s R&B. It was that header. Just got people going. Now I listen to R&B. I'm not going to hate. I'm going to try it. I'm going to hate, but I'm not going to hate on that. I'm going to save my energies. But, dude, funny story about that. I just thought about this, dude. So, middle school is the greatest years of your life, right? Not really, though, but they're the worst. Definitely the worst. But they're the best at the same time too, right? So I remember one of the big things if you liked a girl, bro, you would make a mixtape, okay? And I remember I really liked this girl. I met her at church. Okay, let's remember the context where you actually met this girl, and I really liked her. I was in 7th grade, maybe 7th, 8th. But anyway, I really liked her. I was like, man, how am I going to win her over? I said, I'm going to make her a mixtape. Make her a mixtape. And I said, man, I bet, R&B's really in. I want to make this mix. So I put it together. It was fly. I've made like 12 masterpieces in my life as mixtapes. And that's, for you young folks, is when you put that cassette hitter in there and you just have a list of songs, like a playlist on like your digital list, and you just play it. But anyway, so I played it, and I got kind of carried away, because I was in middle school. Hormones are taking over. You're not thinking right. So what I did was I said, man, remixes were a big thing, even though every remix is terrible. You give me a remix that is good, and I will acknowledge it and say you're right on this popular podcast. But every remix is garbage. Terrible. Looking back at it, every remix was awful. You pretended it was better because the song was fire, and now there was a remix and you're excited they were redoing or reliving it. But usually it was terrible. It was awful. Facts. Anyway, found the Come and Talk to Me remix, bro. So I played, I thought it would be cute, since it was like one of my favorite songs, to put it on there several times. Matter of fact, I think on side B, because there's a side A of the cassette, then you flipped it over and you put in side B. I'm pretty sure I just copied this song about 8 times. The Come and Talk to Me remix. Let me tell you what the Come and Talk to Me remix sounds like. Okay? At the end, if you listen closely, listen to the girl in the background. Okay, that goes on through the entire song. A girl going, the what? I'm in middle school, okay, and I put this on a mixtape, and I give it to the girl I like. I didn't know. I had no idea what was going on. I had no idea about the study being released and what Jodeci actually does to people. You know? It was so awkward because it was such a bad play. The girl was very wholesome. I gave it to her. I remember the next day. I remember it was like I want to say the teacher. It was like Mr. Hartwell was my, God, I can remember weird stuff. But anyway, I go in there, or maybe not. But I mean, I go in there and I'm like, I'm not going to be bold enough to be like, dude, did you like my mixtape? Because it's very, it's like asking a girl out pretty much. You give them the mixtape and they say, I like your mixtape. And then you're kind of like a thing. But I didn't have any game. So she ignored me. And I remember hearing, she didn't even look at my direction. And then I remember finding out her friends like, I think, she said, that the mixtape was interesting or something, like, and I was like, oh. And that was one of my first, I was in love, and that hurt. And then I later found out, like, that I think her dad was listening to it, because the first side was, it was kind of like fun R&B up. But then there was that version of Come and Talk to Me where there's just the girl panting in the back the whole time with horrible solo rhymes or verses from like whatever rapper that is, probably that was their only verse ever. And it was probably something terrible. It was something terrible. And I was just so embarrassed. Dude, this is no lie. I never talked to her again. I don't think. That ended everything. Didn't even acknowledge each other for the rest of my life. So that is exactly what can happen. People are like, what's the worst can happen? I'll tell you what can happen. Your crush could pretty much never talk to you again or acknowledge you ever again. Maybe we did like interact later, but it was just that was always in the back of your head. Even like if I ran into her today, I'd still be embarrassed. That was just a bad decision. But you got to live with those decisions, right? I mean, I decided to put Come and Talk to Me 8 times on the opposite side of the tape from a very wholesome girl, and I lost. That could have been it. That could have been, that was my shot. That was my shot. And here I am, still, chilling. But I got this podcast, bruh. I wanna know. Won't you tell me your name? Man, I'm excited, man. February, this time of year is long, bro. So I'm just giving the people what they want. They love the podcast. I've ran into some people. They said they really are still listening, so that's good. I got a steady group of listeners, and as long as one person listens, man, I'm good. So I decided you guys had some good entries. We decided we're gonna do semi-hot. We're gonna do hot or not with your aunt, and I got an entry. So when I bump up the production and I get a straight up producer full time, and I have my studio and I will have graphics. I'll do all the fun stuff. But right now, raw, give it to you with no trivia. Raw like cocaine straight from Bolivia. But our first entry is from Desmond. Thank you, Desmond, for writing in. And guys, don't get discouraged if I don't acknowledge your questions, or I'm just one guy trying hard. So let's look at this picture. This is Ursa. And I'll tell you what, man. I'll keep her picture up there for a second. Ursa. I'll tell you what. I really like a girl with shoulders. I really do. And Ursa here has some shoulders on her. I can tell she works out. I like that. She takes care of herself. I like that. I can tell she diets well. You know why? Because the glow in her hair. I can tell the glow. I love a girl that's patriotic. It looks like she has a United States flag shirt on. That means she loves her country. I love my country, so that's something we could probably talk about. Like I'd probably, talk about, I like her fashion. We could talk about that over lunch. I like she's happy. She seems happy. She's smiling. She looks like she's a homeowner from the back, or maybe she's renting in a really nice area. But Lonely Uncle approves of Ursa. I like Ursa a lot. So I'm going to give Ursa a hot or seems like a very beautiful and nice and easygoing, person. So I'm going to say thumbs up to that. Because that's what it's all about. So thank you, Desmond, for writing in or sending in that photo. I really appreciate it, and kind of going from there. It's about that time. I really do appreciate you listening. You know what I'm saying? Best mixtape ever. Lonely Uncle. Thanks for listening, bro. Thanks.